So hello guys, welcome back to Sports with Bros. We are once again with you with the review of day two. Once again, the same type of a day. Started with Australia's good performance, but ended with India's good performance. So welcome back, Charbel.
Thank you. Thanks, Renjo.
Yes, we should start. I think the first question from Todd Murphy. He started the day really well for Australia. Any points on him?
Yeah, he bowled amazing. I was so happy for him to get a fifer. Uh, just disappointed that the day didn't end well for Australia in the end. But look, it was great to see Todd Murphy perform like that on debut. He showed a lot of good signs. And the thing is, like, Nathan Lyon is not going to go around forever. So we need a good replacement for him. And I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, we've found a very good spinner to replace Nathan Lyon in the future.
Yes. His bowling, I think there was one off spinner, Jason Kreza from past. I think
Yes.
he equaled the record. It's so many spinners coming in India and destroying their batting of top. So my next question was related to Rohit Sharma's batting. He batted
Mm.
tomorrow beautifully and also today. Sorry, yesterday. Do you want to say about something about him?
Amazing. Yesterday he started beautifully and he just continued from that today. And what I was really impressed with for Rohit, like watching from an Australian perspective, I felt we really needed to get him out early, but his defense was so solid. So that creates a lot
Mhm.
of doubt in the bowler's mind when his defense is so solid. You want to try different things, and then he punishes you when you go too loose or you bowl a bad delivery. So that was a special 100 today. It set the platform. And he held the innings together for India because they lost a few wickets there in the middle. But Rohit's
Mm.
100
Yeah.
when a lot of players found it a bit difficult on this pitch, it was Rohit that he was all class in this innings. That's a terrific 100.
Okay. We have seen Pat Cummins not bowled yesterday well, but today he bowled really well in that first spell and in that second spell of new ball. He bowled well. So, do you want to say something about him, Pat Cummins?
Yeah, it was strange yesterday. I was mentioning yesterday, like it was very rare to see Pat Cummins bowl like that. But yeah, he started to bowl a lot better as the day went on today. And that's the Pat Cummins we know. He's consistent. He can bowl the beautiful delivery that he did to Rohit. It's just from an Australian perspective, would have loved to see that a bit in the first new ball to get Rohit early. that would have been amazing. But
Uh,
look, we need Pat Cummins to bowl well in this series. There's no doubt about it. So to see him bowl better on the second day was good to see.
okay. Uh, in the starting, Scott Boland. Actually, his I think his spell was the first. Matlab, on that day, from there, good things started happen for Australia. So Scott Boland, do you want to say something about him? Scott Boland's bowling. He bowled
On, a,
really
on
well.
another on another day, he could have had a couple of wickets. I thought he bowled quite well. A couple of close inside edges, beat the bat a couple of times. He was very solid. And you're right. It was when he came on in that first session, he built pressure. They couldn't score off him. And then, he and Todd Murphy bowled well in a good partnership. And that's where the wicket came from. They started to bowl well as a partnership. They weren't leaking runs. So I think Boland was a bit unlucky today. I reckon he deserved a
Mm,
wicket or two.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, different conditions, of course, to Australia. But I don't think he bowled. I thought he bowled pretty well. Um,
Mm,
so he should be happy with his effort.
yeah. Yes, and also today, Steve Smith, one of the best sleep builders, one woman also commented about this. So he dropped three catches today. So I think it was just a matter of time. Uh, this sleep building today.
Yeah, that hurt the last one. He dropped Rohit as well, but then Cummins
Mm,
dismissed him the next ball. But the
next
Jadeja catch
ball.
there at the end, it would have been really nice to get that one
Mhm.
because Jadeja is just such a good player. He always gives us trouble And just to see the back of him would have been nice. Look, for me, look, the lead is. I don't know if you're going to touch on this. The lead is already big enough for India now. I think the damage has been done, but it would have been really nice to see the back of Jadeja because he can bat. He can still bat. He and Akshar Patel can bat a long while tomorrow and drive Australia further
mm,
into the ground. I think that's what India will be looking to do now. Really drive home the advantage and create some more psychological damage, I think, for Australia because it's a four-match series. So if you can get that psychological advantage, you're well and truly on your way.
yeah. Uh, we have seen today's spin game of. Sorry, do you want to? Sorry, spin game, not pitch. The left-hander pitch. In the starting, there are many talks about the left-handed pitch. I don't know what it is. There was a rough for right-handers, but not for left-handers. Many more things. Some top media yeah, things. Fox Sports also posted this. So, but two left-handers of India scored 50. So, are you see? What do you say about this thing? And are you seeing any Australian left-handed scoring 50s on this track?
I want to see whoever wrote that article for Fox Sports come out and give their thoughts about two left-handers for India scoring 50s. um, in terms of Australia playing scoring 50, I hope so, but yeah, hard to see it happen because I think the Indian spinners tomorrow, they're going to be very, very good. They're going to be very good on this pitch. They're going to get the ball turning. The spin there, and they're getting a lot more bite than the Australian spinners are. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for the left-handers. I think it's going to be tough for all the batsmen tomorrow. Let's be real, right-handers or left-handers, they're all going to be challenged.
Hey,
Third
hi,
day.
Tablet.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you feeling after the game today?
I think I sort of told you guys yesterday that this is the sort of the way I was expecting day two to go. I'm not too surprised, to be honest. Jadeja scoring runs, Rohit Sharma, brilliant 100, even Akshar. I was expecting probably more from Pujara and Kohli, if I'm being honest. But other than that, I think the day went pretty pretty standard. I think India don't often give up an advantage, especially at home. That's why they don't lose much at home at all, because when they're in a good position, they drive home the advantage. And that's what they did again in this match.
But I think there was a chance for Australia when wickets fell in quick succession, when Pujara got out, when Surya Kumar
Yes.
Yadav got out, when Kohli got out the next ball after the lunch. So I felt Australia failed to capitalize on those moments. But this lead which we have right now could have been very less. We could have bundled out. But I think Australia failed to capitalize on those situations.
I think they tried to, but it's just the quality of India's lower order, to be honest. It's, Jadeja and Akshar Patel. Jadeja is arguably the best all-rounder in the world. Akshar Patel is a very good batsman. Australia were 162 for 5. India were 168 for 5. It's very similar positions, but look at the difference now in the game. It's the lower order, the quality of batting down the order as well. India bat very deep, and that's the big difference, I think, as well. And yeah, I don't know. Look, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Need to break this partnership very quickly and hope for a good start. But yeah, I think India very strong, and the runs, from 7, 8, 9, very good batting.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's the difference. The lower middle order contribution for India in so many series recently have been the best. I think we have seen Jadeja scoring those 50s on many numerous occasions wherein India were, kind of struggling, but then because of his 50, we were put in a strengthened position. So that's arguably the best thing. But I think we should laud Murphy's contribution, Pfeiffer, that he has got today. And he has bowled brilliantly, I would say.
Yeah, I think this is his longest spell in first-class cricket. I don't think he's bowled this many overs in a first-class inning. So to be able to produce an effort like that is just outstanding. And it shows, I think, that he belongs and he's good enough and he's a clever spinner. I thought the way he mixed up his deliveries He bowled some undercutters, and then he bowled over the top as well to try vary it up. I think that's, his consistency was very good today, and I think he was, Nathan Lyon was the experienced one, but it was Todd Murphy who bowled as if he was the one with 100 plus tests to his name. You know what I mean? So, I was telling Ranjay earlier that, we've always looked for a replacement for Nathan Lyon, and I think fingers crossed, we've got this guy that can, hold the fort for Australia from a spin perspective for the next, 10 years, like Lyon has, Todd Murphy can be that bowler going forward, hopefully.
And it's so good to see that, as you mentioned, Nathan Lane with so much of experience and Murphy doing his debut. And then you won't have a better person than Nathan Lane to mentor you, if we talk about Murphy's, from Murphy's perspective. So I think that's really good. Let's see how much he can learn from him. But I think, to be honest, even Pat Cummins' bowling has kind of let down everyone, because the way he has bowled after the second ball was taken, Rohit Sharma's wicket. It was an absolute beauty. The ball was cracker of a delivery, but then I
Well,
think he didn't look in the touch in the entire game. As
Yeah,
far as
I don't know. I don't know. Pat Cummins' body language has worried me a bit in this game. I'm not sure what's going on there. You just want to come into this series firing. Yeah, it was just look. He didn't start well yesterday with the ball, and I thought he bowled better today. And then that beauty to Rohit, but only glimpses of Pat Cummins at his best, not his usual self at times. But it happens, and we back him to bounce back. But yeah, we just need to limit India somehow. We've got to find ways to do that this series, and it's a very tough ask, but we've got to find a good balance so that Cummins and Lyon and now Murphy and these guys, they all got good support around them with the ball. We've got a lot of bowling options, because that was my worry in this test. 4 specialist bowling options. It's going to be hard work, and it proved to be the case.
do you think somehow we can see Rohit kind of inning from someone's from Australia side? Do you think
I
tomorrow?
can I can only
Uh,
hope. Look, my heart says Smith or Marnus produce a blinder, but if we're being real here, the Indian spinners, I think they're just too good. And Australia might resist for a little while, like the first innings, but the Indian spinners, they're too classy. It's going to take something extremely special for Australia to make a game out of
like
this.
like that
Um,
Kolkata test.
like the Kolkata test, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. They put the scorecard up today. That's what I was saying yesterday. It's like you're probably going to need some miracle partnership like that. But yeah, it's we need something from David Warner. This is the time now. Something from the openers. I think if we lose an early wicket or two, that makes it even harder. So if we get a good start, then just take each session as it comes, and then just let the runs take care of themselves. That's what Rohit did. He took his time, and he was never in a hurry. Rohit, he was in his own world. We need someone from Australia. Not only one player, we need a few players to dig in.
Mm,
That's right, and I think we
uh,
should appreciate Rohit Sharma sitting. He looked like he's batting on a different wicket than all the other batsmen. The way he has bowled, the way he has paced his innings, we see that he has made runs in the quick succession in the session one. But then after that, he slowed down, saw the pitch because the pitch had something to offer. Nathan Lane Murphy was bowling really well, and then it took for that special inning to end. It took that special delivery. So I think he has been commendable, and because of his innings, I think India is in commanding position. Otherwise the case would have been different, with not much contribution from the top order from India's side.
Agree. Agree. Rohit played a crucial
Agreed.
role.
Totally.
Yeah, and also that partnership with Jadeja there as well, because it was a tricky situation, right? India were still trailing and they're 5 down, so Australia have a little opportunity there, as you said earlier, to get a few more wickets and limit the lead, keep that lead down. But yeah, Rohit, it was going to take a delivery like that, I felt, to get him out. Otherwise, he'd still be batting now. I thought he'd get 150 plus at the start of the day. And I felt, yeah, unless something was going to, really special, he was going to get a massive score. He was batting that well. It was a terrific innings.
Indeed. And I think there is some worry around slip catching from Australia side as well. We saw Steve Smith dropping two crucial cases, and
Yeah.
there's some, it looks like the body language, everything has gone down. There's no positive intent from the feeder.
Yeah. Look, one thing we always say as Australians, you never give up. You always fight to the end. So that's what we want to
Exactly.
see tomorrow. I think if they roll over and lose heavily, then that would be very disappointing. Um, yeah, we've got to show some fight now. If we, I know before the series we were talking about the possibility of winning in India. If you want to do that, you have to fight the whole time. You can't throw the towel in or give up. So it's looking bad for this test, of course. The result and the game is in India's hands, well and truly. But we just want to see some fight from Australia and put in a good second innings, because then that's something you can take to the next test.
Exactly, and it won't
Mm.
be that easy to, even if Australia gives us some run to for the India to chase, it won't be that easy in the fourth inning, especially to
It
bet
won't
here.
be, but yeah, the question is how many can Australia give? It's already
Yeah,
144 in
exactly.
front. You'd think they're going to
Yeah,
add a few more, these two, and then Shami can swing the bat a bit.
yeah.
It could be 180, 200. Then yeah, that's curtains.
Well, from India's side, we would say that we won't even need to bat at day four or in the fourth inning. So we would want that from
That's the key
India's
for India, right? Yeah,
side.
bat first and bat well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and look, they're on their way now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've pretty much covered. Anjay, over to you if in case you have some questions.
Nah, I think we should wrap up.
Yeah. Sabal, do you have
Uh,
anything you are looking for someone's performance tomorrow?
Yeah, I
Excited to
mean, I
see who's
saw I
going?
saw a comment here from Varanasi blogger. He says, "What about Lyon? He isn't troubling the batters." It's a good point. Like, it's a bit of a worry. He hasn't. I mentioned in my preview before the series, I wrote an article about, like, where Australia can do well in the series, and I looked at Nathan Lyon. He hasn't spun the ball as much over the last couple of years. His strike rate is a bit higher. It's in the 70s over the last few years. There hasn't been as much bite in his bowling, and it was a bit of a worry. I don't think he was very threatening in this game, and he overpitched a lot. So consistency and the lack of bite was a bit of a worry, but hopefully he'll bounce back because we need him desperately.
yeah. Okay. So let's end this session. We'll cover all the things. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.